There are rappers who send shots. Then there's Drake, the man who turned rap beef into headlines. He dissed rappers, rivals, legends, even his closest friends, even his own baby mama. He clashed with Pusha T, embarrassed Meek Mill, tested Jay-Z, went to war with Kendrick, and made walking past him impossible. And by the end of this documentary, you'll have seen 21 people who tried to take him on and found out the hard way why that was a mistake. Some got embarrassed, some got erased, and some never recovered. And we'll be ranking every single beef along the way. So get ready to see who got scorched, who barely survived, and who actually took home the dub. So roll yourself up some of the finest sticky icky and lock in, because you don't want to miss this. Keep watching to find out who survived and who got slaughtered. This is Drake versus everybody, the 20v1 beef breakdown.
What the f is this, a 20v1?
Meek Mill.
Do you consider that whole time a loss, a win, or a learning experience?
Consider it as a win, and I'm still standing. It's only a loss when it's over with, like when I die or something like that.
Meek Mill came up as a battle rapper. By 2012, he was on fire, collabing with Rick Ross on the track I'm a Boss, and gearing up to drop his debut album, Dreams and Nightmares. Drake saw opportunity, so he took Meek on the road for his Club Paradise tour. That wasn't charity, that was a cosign. Drake didn't just bring Meek outside, he gave him real clout by featuring on his track, Amen. At this time, they were both cool and had a good friendship. So Drake would then feature on Meek's next album on the track, Rico. And that's where the beef started. When Meek's album dropped and Drake didn't promote it, no IG post or retweet, Meek took that personally. So he went to Twitter and tried to expose the boy and said, "Stop comparing Drake to me too. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album, because we found out." That tweet changed everything. Meek wasn't just upset. He accused Drake of using a ghostwriter, and that person was Quentin Miller, a singer-songwriter who was allegedly writing Drake's raps. That accusation dragged Quentin Miller straight into the middle of the beef, and it didn't stay online. Meek and his boys jumped Quentin inside a Nike store. Blood spilled.
Come over here, Meek wants to talk to you, and I was just like, I don't want to go in front of paparazzi, like, I don't want to do that. And they stole off on me in the Nike store and ran. I shed blood in the Nike store on Wilshire.
At that point, this wasn't rap anymore. It was reckless. And that's when Drake made a decision. Drake took it off Twitter and straight into the music. In 2015, he dropped the track Charged Up, where he sent his first shot at Meek.
I stay silent cause we at war and I'm very patient. Six God is watching, I just hope you're prepared to face him. I'm charged up.
It wasn't loud, it was a warning shot, an invitation. Everyone expected Meek to respond fast, but he didn't. So Drake doubled down. 2 days later, he dropped the track back to back. That diss track charted, earned a Grammy nomination, and turned Meek into a meme. And nobody really saw that coming. After all the humiliation, Meek finally hit back with the track Wanna Know.
I just wanna know if you ain't right there running through the six. Tell us who the f***'s queen running through the six with.
So guess what Drake did next? At OVO Fest, he teased a three-peat track, as if 2 diss tracks wasn't already enough.
And he ain't ready for that three-peat. You don't want that three-peat.
But he didn't even need to drop it because the damage was already done. After that, Meek took his track Wanna Know down from his SoundCloud account and posted that he was moving on from the beef. But throughout the years, the shots never fully stopped. First Drake on the track Summer 16.
I let the diss record drop, you was staying right below me.
And then Meek on his track Warpaint.
You ain't right, we caught you. Can't erase that shit.
And after these shots, Meek was asked who really won the beef.
Take it as a win, a learning experience. I take it as a win and a loss, you know what I'm saying? I lost some people through it. I won some people through it. I learned some things. Take it as everything.
Then everyone realized there was an opportunity for them to patch things up. When Meek Mill went to prison in 2018, Drake showed public support, wearing a Free Meek Mill t-shirt and making it clear where he stood. And when Meek came home, Drake decided how it would end. He brought Meek on stage in Boston in front of everybody. After all of that, Drake featured on Meek's track Going Bad, and it went on to become the biggest record of Meek's career. But there was one person who didn't get a happy ending, Quentin Miller. He wasn't the one beefing, but he paid the price.
It was all worthless, it was all pointless. How do y'all do the reunited, we all good without QM?
Quentin never really got closure, whilst Drake and Meek made peace before the beef went any further.
I think we both felt our obligation just to everybody that had eyes on us, all these young kids. We had to turn that around because we know how far it was going, and almost went, you know?
Beef rating, 10 out of 10. Drake took a battle rapper into his own lane and ended him in 2 records. What rating would you give it? The Weeknd.
It gets to a point, you know, where I don't know if I'm doing it for the right feelings anymore.
The Weeknd was one of the most mysterious artists in music. Behind the name was a singer from Toronto named Abel, and one of the first people to notice was Drake. In 2011, Drake reached out and brought The Weeknd into the studio while finishing his album Take Care, working together on the track Crew Love.
It was a song that he had, you know, the hook and his verse was done already. I was like, yo, this song is brilliant.
That song helped introduce The Weeknd to the world, and for a while it looked like they were building something together. Fans even had a name for the movement, called OVO XO.
Thank you, London. Make some noise for that OVO and XO!
But behind the scenes, The Weeknd wanted to go his own way, building XO and releasing more of his own music. Not long after that, fans started noticing hidden disses in some of their songs. Drake dropped the track 5 a.m. in Toronto, and one line in particular stood out.
I show love, never get the same out of guess it's funny how money can make change out of for real.
And not long after, The Weeknd dropped the track King of the Fall.
I can say that I'm attached to nobody. I've been getting people while these trying to stop me.
Neither artist mentioned the other by name, but the shots were obvious. At the same time, The Weeknd kept dropping music and building his own lane. By the time Starboy dropped, he had become a global superstar. And as both artists grew bigger, The Weeknd acknowledged the competition between them.
Seems to me for fans, we look at it like there's a little bit of a competitive edge going on there. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, he's like, you know, he came in as, you know, my big bro and showed the world, you know, what I could do. But it's cool that the world can see us kind of doing our own thing.
But even with the competition, when they did link up, the respect was still there.
Without this man, Drizzy Drake, there'd be no motherfucking Weeknd, there'd be no XO.
Around this time, The Weeknd had been dating Bella Hadid. But when the two broke up, rumors started circulating that she and Drake were seeing each other. And on the track Finesse, Drake dropped a line many thought was about Bella.
I want my baby to have your eyes. I'm going against my own advice.
Bella denied the rumors, but things between Drake and The Weeknd were getting tense. And not long after, news of Drake's secret child became public. And on the track Lost in the Fire, The Weeknd sent a shot Drake's way.
And I just want a baby with the right one. I just want a baby, 'cause I can never be the one to hide one.
And it didn't stop there. On a track with Nav, The Weeknd went at Drake again.
You're beefing with yourself, tell the truth.
But Drake wasn't trying to keep the beef going. And on the track War, he hinted the two had already worked things out.
And the boy that sound like he sang on Thriller, you know that's been my yeah, we just had to fix things, family, 6 things, we can't split up.
For a while, it looked like things between the two had cooled off. They were even performing on stage together again. And Drake later admitted he always knew The Weeknd would go his own way.
I never expected Abel to stay under OVO as soon as I heard him once express that he wanted to do his own thing.
But that peace didn't last. When Drake's feud with Future and Metro Boomin exploded, The Weeknd picked a side. On the track All to Myself with Future and Metro, he delivered a line many saw as a shot at Drake.
I thank God that I never signed my life away.
Drake didn't let that slide. Drake came back with the Kendrick diss track Family Matters and mocked The Weeknd for getting involved.
Knew it was smoke when Abel hit us with the serenade. Say,
The tension between the two had been on and off for years. And looking back on their relationship, Drake admitted it's something he still regrets.
My biggest regret would maybe be that we probably wasted 7 years not communicating with each other when we had something beautiful going on. You know, like OVO XO still could have been a thing. You know, hopefully we can fix that and make good on the years that we missed. You know, hopefully he's open-minded to it.
Beef rating 7 out of 10. From OVO XO partners to trading subliminals. An on and off rivalry that lasted for years. But the tension between them has never really disappeared. Pusha T.
That's why you don't play with me. Right. There is no too far.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
Forever.
Pusha T came in the game as one half of the rap duo Clips, known for their raps about hardcore drug dealing. But when their music career started slowing down, Lil Wayne saw them as an easy target and dissed them in a Vibe magazine article saying, rappers shouldn't be doing this just to make it out the hood.
I remember just a very dark time for me just musically. There was a Vibe article, like down talking to us, and I'm like, damn, we already going through what we going through. That's what, for me, you know, what started.
So when Drake signed to Lil Wayne's label, he inherited that beef. And when his sophomore album Take Care dropped, Pusha T had something to say about him. And on the track, Don't F With Me, he sent a shot Drake's way.
Rappers on they sophomores acting like they boss lords. Fame's such a funny thing for sure.
And to make it even clearer, Pusha broke down Drake's whole deal on his Exodus track.
You sign to one, then sign to another, then sign to three. Now that's bad luck.
And it didn't go unnoticed. Lil Wayne stepped in to defend his boy. And not long after, Drake responded on the track Tuscan Leather.
Best players talking like starters, I hate it. Started from the bottom, now we here, we made it.
And Pusha came right back on HGTV Freestyle, questioning Drake's pen game.
These call it duty cause they killings ain't real. With a questionable pin, so the feeling ain't real.
But Drake wasn't letting it slide. He came back on the track Two Birds, One Stone.
But really it's you with all the drug dealer stories. It's gotta stop though. You made a couple chops and now you think you Chapo.
And that set everything in motion.
I mean, they say Drake reached out on Two Birds, One Stone.
Yeah, he definitely did. Is that why he got these shots on infrared?
Pusha T stepped things up on his infrared track, calling Drake out for using ghostwriters.
How could you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your songs?
They're real writers out here. You know what I'm saying? Who really do this, who really enjoy the craft of this.
Well, Drizzy didn't just respond. He went at Pusha and his whole camp on the track Duppy Freestyle.
You're not even top 5 as far as your label talent goes. You send shots, well, I gotta challenge those.
He even sent a $100,000 invoice to Good Music for career revival. And Pusha's response was, send the extra 20. And who owned Good Music? Kanye West. And Kanye was right in the middle of it.
It was a lot of Kanye drama.
Because Drake had confided in Kanye about one of his secrets, but Pusha was the one who exposed it. On the track The Story of Adidon, he revealed everything.
You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Ooh!
I knew something was gonna come up about my kid. They had to add like the deadbeat thing to make it more appealing, which is fine. I understand that. And even that, I was like, okay.
But he didn't stop there. On the same track, he went at Drake's producer and close friend OVO 40.
OVO 40 hunched over like he 80. Tick, tick, tick. How much time he got? That man is sick, sick, sick.
Wishing death on my friend that has MS. Someone's gonna punch you in the face. The done, the event's over.
Everybody heard the song. I ain't wish death on nobody.
I felt that way.
Care.
I felt that way about that too. I didn't think you meant you wish death.
But not that I care.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
Some people thought Pusha had gone too far, but he didn't back down.
Did you ever feel like that?
I never felt nothing. And anybody who ever told me that I went too far, I never spoke to him again.
Drake even had to address the blackface photo, posting a long explanation about what it actually represented.
Putting out the artwork and you giving a whole dissertation in your notes and posting that. That was a W to me.
And in the end, even Drake admitted that he got outplayed.
The chess move was genius. Back against the wall, I either go all the way filthy or I fall back and I have this sort of chink in my armor for the rest of time to a rap purist, which is fine, I can live with that.
He even had a response ready, but chose not to release it.
You wrote the song and never put it out.
Yeah, because I got home and I just listened back to it and I was like, man, this is not something I ever want to be remembered for. This is not even a place that I necessarily want to go. And to all the people who enjoy that, I tip my hat to you.
Beef rating 10 out of 10. This one was inherited, built through years of subliminals, all ending with one surgical move, and there was no coming back from it. Tyga.
How do you know Drake?
We were signed to the same label.
Right now?
Not anymore. We were though.
Okay.
Through Lil Wayne's label, Young Money, Cash Money.
Tyga was one of the hottest names coming out of LA, making noise with club records and a flashy West Coast sound, including the hit Rack City.
Rack City.
At the time, both Tyga and Drake were signed to Lil Wayne's Young Money label, even appearing together on records like The Motto and Still Got It. From the outside, it looked like they were boys. But things changed when Tyga sat down with Vibe magazine, calling Drake fake.
Now, you had said that you think that Drake is fake. You don't like him. He's not your type of person, but you do like his music.
I feel like he's a nice guy on the outside, but he's not genuine. You know what I'm saying? And he plays people left and right.
I hear that a lot.
And those comments quickly caught the attention of Cash Money boss Birdman.
Tyga know where he's standing in this game compared to Drake. Either you're with it or you ain't. You gotta just choose your side.
But the drama didn't stay inside the label for long. Around the same time, Tyga had just broken up with his ex, Blac Chyna. So Drake started liking a bunch of her photos on IG, and she played along, tagging Drake in her posts to get under Tyga's skin. And Tyga wasn't happy about it, so he aired Drake out on the track, Make It Work.
Never was my homie, all these bitches know you corny.
But Tyga was also making headlines for another reason. Rumors that he was dating 17-year-old Kylie Jenner.
No, I'm not dating Kylie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dating that, so I just want to get that out the way.
But the rumors didn't go away. So Drake mocked Tyga by posting a photo with her.
Drake's got China, he's got Kylie. Drake is a problem.
He's not the guy to go there with because he's not gonna pull no punches, and he's being true to form. He said it, and that's what he is.
Not long after, Drake addressed the situation in his music.
I heard a little homie talking reckless and vibe.
On the track 6 p.m. in New York, Drake sent shots Tyga's way.
So childish calling my name on a world stage. You need to act your age and not your girl's age.
You need to start acting your age and not your girl's age.
And then you went on Twitter, but you deleted that and you said that he's a bitch.
By that point, Tyga was looking for all the smoke with Drake.
I think y'all should square up one time. If it's that serious.
I just don't with him as a person. You know what I mean? Because the experiences that I've had with him personally.
But Drake wasn't feeding into it.
Just leave that shit alone, man. And that's part of the reason I don't go up to radio, you know? Sit up there and talk all the time.
And as it turns out, Tyga did eventually start dating Kylie once she turned 18. But after that, the story took a turn, thanks to an unlikely figure.
Ye, he put us in a room together when he was doing his fashion show. And I didn't even know he was there. And then, like, we kind of seen each other and, you know, like, we gave each other a hug and, like, we just chopped it up.
Kanye helped bridge that gap between you and Drake.
It was miscommunication. It was media. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, once you get into, like, the petty game, it's like, all right, let's just be petty all day.
And just like that, the beef between Drake and Tyga cooled off.
How's the relationship with you and Drake?
I just told you we cool. It's not like... Why do people always think it's like something negative?
I'm not. I'm just giving you the look.
Oh, nah, we good.
Rag City. Rag City.
Are you friends with him?
Yeah. Yeah, we're cool.
Beef rating, 6 out of 10. Some label drama, a few diss lines, but it's safe to say Drake walked away with the dub. Kanye West.
Drake don't do a diss like an outright diss song where it's a headshot. He's gonna set it up like war.
When Drake was still finding his footing, Kanye was already that guy, one of the biggest names in music. And Drake was around him early. Kanye directed his Best I Ever Had music video.
I don't know what to say.
And even produced the track Find Your Love, which went on to be a classic. At this time, there wasn't competition, just two artists working in the same room. But that all changed.
I was fine with writing Find Your Love with Drake on his first thing until he got too big.
That's the part people gloss over. Because once Drake stopped looking like the new kid and started looking like the next one up, the vibe shifted. And when that happens in rap, even friendships feel different. There was a moment Drake and Kanye were supposed to lock in for a joint album, but those plans changed.
Me and Drake, we was gonna do an album together. And the album is called Wolves. Me and Jay started talking about Watch the Throne, and Drake went and did all the records with Wayne and did the tour.
While Kanye linked with Jay-Z for Watch the Throne, Drake moved with Lil Wayne. And that's when his rise really went into overdrive. So by the time Summer 16 rolled out, Drake had something to say.
Now I got a house in LA, now I got a bigger pool than Ye. And look, man, Ye's pool is nice, mine's just bigger is what I'm saying.
Is Drake's pool really bigger than yours, Kanye?
I have 3 pools.
Well, the truth is, Kanye loved the challenge.
I look at Drake as like an amazing sparring partner. You know, someone's like, come on, man, get back up. Bow, get back up.
For a while, it looked like things were cool again. Drake even brought Kanye and Jay-Z onto his track Pop Style.
Jay about his business, and I'ma let you finish, but
when the album dropped, Drake cut them. Not long after that, Kanye was on stage venting.
They've been paid to play that bull over and over and over.
I went from working on a project with him to him sort of like publicly on me and DJ Khaled for being on the radio too much.
This is when things really started to escalate. Kanye had played Drake a beat and told him he could have it.
He played you a beat, right?
He played me Lift Yourself, and he was like, yo, you can have this if you want. And I was hype, I started writing to it, and then he was like, yo, you gotta come to Wyoming.
Drake flew to his ranch in Wyoming thinking they were about to build something together. Instead, he spent his time helping Kanye finish his albums. But at least he still had the Lift Yourself track, or so he thought.
Lift Yourself comes out with him just talking nonsense.
Boopy-dee-scoop, scoop-dee-dee-whoop, whoop-dee-scoop-dee-poop.
This guy's trolling me. Yeah, he's this was like a manipulative, like, I want to break you.
Drake also told Kanye when he was dropping his album Scorpion. Not long after that, Kanye announced a run of albums of his own, all landing around the same time.
I wake up and all these dates are out one by one by one, all around June 15th.
And one of those albums was Pusha T's Daytona, produced by Kanye. On the closing track, Infrared, there were shots aimed at Drake.
And of course, there's a
diss song towards me that you produced.
So he responded with Duppy Freestyle. Officially, it was for Pusher, but Kanye caught the smoke too.
What do you really think of the nigga that's making your beats? I've done things for him I thought that he never would need.
Around that same time, Pusha T went public with the news that Drake had a son, which led to one uncomfortable question.
So you didn't get Pusha T the information?
No, I didn't. But like, don't pull me to this conversation. Like, I'm Ye.
I send him a picture of my son.
Oh my God.
I tell him I'm having trouble with my son's mother. We had a conversation. I shared my...
And while that was unfolding, another rumor started circulating.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding?
People thought it was about Kim, and Kanye didn't appreciate his wife's name being dragged into it.
You know, if I had a girlfriend from Chicago, her name was Renita, and then you was married to Rihanna, I wouldn't make no song called Riri.
Drake and Kanye were actually living near each other in Calabasas. So when Drake rapped about creeping down the block on Travis Scott's track Sicko Mode, it sounded personal.
Crept down the block, made a right, yeah. Cut the lights, yeah. Pay the price, yeah.
Crept through the light switch. Is that?
Yeah. Drake don't do a diss like an outright diss song where it's a headshot. He's gonna set it up like war.
Then came Donda. As Kanye was preparing to drop the album, Drake made his move. He leaked the track Life of the Party, then went on Instagram and called it trash. But ironically, a lot of people thought it was one of the best songs on the album, and even Kanye admitted it.
You and Drake against one another. You saying you're gonna take it and you're gonna smoke it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's all I need to be clear. That's all I need to be clear.
But it already happened. He played one of my leaked songs and it was better than every other song this year.
By that point, it had gone on long enough. That's when Jay Prince stepped in and made them squash the beef.
Both me and Drake have taken shots at each other, and it's time to put it to rest.
Drake and Kanye reunited on stage for the Free Larry Hoover benefit concert. But even after it felt settled, Drake just couldn't help letting his feelings slip on the track Circo Loco.
Linking with the ops, I did that shit for Jay Prince.
But Kanye took a different approach. He tweeted that he loved Drake. And when it was all said and done, Kanye finally admitted it.
Drake is the greatest rapper ever.
Beef rating, 8 out of 10. Drake once stood in Kanye's shadow. First he stood next to him, and then he stood against him. But in the end, Kanye gave him the crown. Go on and hit that subscribe button before Drake swoops into your girl's DMs, because you know he will. Common.
I felt like Drake was sending me a couple of shots.
Subliminals?
So subliminal. He was sending...
Y'all be at the light skin karate class.
Before Drake was Drake, there was Common. Chicago royalty, rap heavyweight, Grammy winner. A veteran who didn't need attention. He already had respect. This wasn't a random critic. This was a real name in hip-hop. And Drake, he was becoming the guy everybody had an opinion on. By this point, Drake was working with Rick Ross, running records with French Montana, and moving like the new center of gravity in rap. He wasn't chasing respect anymore. He was throwing his weight around like the new king on the block. But this beef didn't start over lyrics, it started over a woman.
If I'm just being real, like, you know, we mess with one of the same girls, blah, 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 the same story. Yeah, same story that you hear a lot about it.
Right.
So, you know, wars happen over women.
That woman was Serena Williams. Common was dating Serena first. Then Drake entered the picture. After that, Common started noticing things. So when did the beef spill into the music? The first shot came on Rick Ross's track Stay Schemin', where Drake threw a subliminal at Common.
It bothers me when the guards get to acting like the broads. Guess every team doesn't come complete with like ours.
I remember they dropped the Stay Schemin', and my homie called me Black Coffee, and he was like, man, he talking to you on that.
Those subliminals weren't random, because Common had already called himself one of Chicago's gods.
He had a line where he said he was one of Chi-Town's gods, or Chi-Town Nas.
Yeah.
And then on a Drake line, Stay Schemin', he said it's funny when the gods get to talking like they broads.
Come on, man, you giving, like, not many people knew that was the line. That's the exact line that made me.
I saw it when it happened.
Once Common caught that line, the subliminals were done.
So that's why I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you know, like right now. So if you coming at me, you gonna know who it is. I'm coming at you. I'm coming.
So Common jumped on the exact same beat and dissed Drake directly on a track called Stay Schemin' Remix.
I'm taking too long with this amateur guy. You ain't wetting nobody. You Canada dry. Make no mistake, I'm talking to Drake.
But Common wasn't done. On the track Sweet, Common let his feelings be known.
Singing all around here, man. La la la. You ain't no mother Frank Sinatra. Look.
At that point, the beef was official. Once the records dropped, the beef jumped straight to Twitter. Old heads lined up behind Common. New school fans rode for Drake. At that point, the internet had turned it into a debate instead of a war. And that's where the energy shifted, because neither one of them was really trying to take it any further. Both were winning. Both had bigger things to focus on. Not long after that, the two finally ran into each other, face to face.
I eventually saw Drake face to face, and I was at a point where I was like, "What's up?" His father was there, and was like, "Y'all need to squash this." And I was like, "Man, this is an elder talking to me. This is man's father. Let me chill out."
Drake didn't dominate this beef, but he didn't chase it either. He sent one shot, took the response, and kept moving. And noticed something. Most of this story is Common explaining.
Even if it was some subliminal distance, I said what I had to say. Right now, we saying we squashing it, we good.
Beef rating, 4.5 out of 10. Bars were exchanged. The internet argued. Nobody fell off. But it was the first reminder that Drake was in everybody's lane. Rick Ross.
He mentioned my name, and that's a no-no. But when you do that, okay then, this how we gonna play, that's cool.
Rick Ross wasn't just making music, he was really living it. The boss image, the Miami lifestyle, his name in the game carried weight. So when Drake was coming up, it didn't take long before their paths crossed.
I was in the studio with Wayne, I met him, and it was just genuine. He was just a cool young, you know what I'm saying? You just seen, he just wanted to win.
So it didn't take long before they started making music together, including some classics like Aston Martin Music, I'm on One, Stay Scheming, and Diced Pineapples.
Me and Drizzy, our relationship most definitely is real close, you know what I mean?
He's my favorite person to rap on any song. His name is Rick Ross.
What is it with the chemistry with Ross? Like, why do you guys make so much good music together?
It's always enjoyable when he hits me and says, "Yo, I need one," or, I hit him and say, "Yo, I got one for you." We just know what time it is. I know he's gonna bar up.
But when Drake started beefing with Meek Mill, it put Ross in a tough spot, because Meek wasn't just another artist, that was Ross's guy. And Drake knew that could change things between them.
One of the most painful parts was just being like, man, Ross is like one of my OGs, one of my mentors, and one of my favorite people in the game. And I might not be able to make a record with him again because he has to pick a side. It was like, damn.
So it was a surprise when he stayed out of the beef completely.
I feel like really by Meek Mill being my little brother and Drake being my little homie, I really feel like they was two little homies that was in high school on the way from school and fought over a pair of J's.
And when Meek and Drake eventually squashed their beef, it didn't take long before things went back to normal, because not long after, they were right back to making music. And they just kept it going, continuing with hits like Money in the Grave, Gold Roses, and Lemon Pepper Freestyle. And even then, they were still rocking with Drake.
Yes, Meek Mill and Rose, we with the boy heavily. You might hear him on some of this new shit that's coming out very soon, you heard?
You better believe it.
And Ross even had his favorites.
Like one of your favorite songs with Drake?
Stay Scheming, I'm gonna say Stay Scheming.
But the good times didn't last. Because when Future and Metro dropped their album We Don't Trust You, it was aimed straight at Drake, and Ross was right there on it. Then Metro tweeted, "Once you pick a side, stay there." And that's exactly what Rick Ross did. He hit that unfollow button on the boy. And people noticed.
Why would Ross beef with Drake though?
That Rick Ross unfollow hurt my soul and spirit. If Rick Ross and Drake are not rapping together no more, this hurts.
And then it got personal. Because right after Ross broke up with Christina Mackey, Drake invited her to one of his shows, giving her personalized VIP tickets. And she made sure everyone saw it. And Ross was one of them. And this is where things started to heat up. First, he posted himself listening to Kendrick's Drake diss track Like That.
I'm really like that, and your best work is a like that. Nigga Prince outlived my jack.
Then he posted this, with Metro, Future, and Kendrick at the top, and Drake at the bottom. Well, Drake came straight back with push-ups aimed at Kendrick. But he had something for Ross, too.
Can't believe he jumping in, he's turning 50. Every song that made it on a chart he got from Drizzy.
And he wasn't capping, because Ross's highest charting records all had Drake on them. So Ross came right back with champagne moments, calling Drake a white boy, even saying he had a nose job.
That's why you had operation to make your nose smaller than your father nose.
And he didn't stop there either.
But anytime you want to do it, I'm ready. I'm ready, white boy. Huh?
Drake even shared a text with his mom, asking if the rumor was true, but she wasn't buying it either. And while Ross kept joking about his nose, Drake was cooking up something else. And on the track Family Matters, he put Ross in his place.
I heard Rick drop, talking something about a nose job. Ozempic got a side effect of jealousy and doubt, and never told y'all.
But after that, it all started to settle down.
You obviously jumped into the arena with the Kendrick Drake.
that happened.
Was it something really deep? Nah, that though. If it's real, it's real. And that's what it is.
I've never seen someone ice rosé, but...
You never seen someone ice rosé?
Mm-hmm.
Well, talk to every jeweler in Miami that has fake diamonds.
And after all that, Ross still performed his biggest records. I bet you can guess what those were.
We gonna let the Drake sing a little.
Beef rating 8 out of 10. They both fired off some good disses, but the glory days look over for good. Y'all think this should be higher or lower? Charlamagne.
I think Drake can rap. You know what I'm saying? I think he can rap. He's a dope rapper. But I hate when he sings. And I just think personally, he's a corny guy.
Charlamagne made his name talking about hip-hop. He wasn't on the mic making records. He was on the mic judging them. Over time, he built a reputation for saying exactly what he thought. And when Drake started taking over, he had plenty to say.
Because I always say it's 3 sexual orientations out here. It's gay, straight, and Drake.
That's when it clicked. Talking about Drake always did numbers. And before long, Charlamagne was mapping out his career.
If you can be the next Jay-Z, why would you want to be the next Miguel? Focus on being the next Jay-Z first.
And after a while, it stopped sounding like radio talk.
People always come to me like, yo, Drake was here looking for you, Drake was there looking for you, whatever. I don't never see it, you know? But if it happens, it happens.
By 2016, Drake wasn't just chasing hits anymore. He was talking legacy, comparing himself to Jay-Z.
I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay.
And the second Drake put himself in that conversation, Charlamagne jumped in.
I understand what he's saying, but you got to understand how that could be took.
Yeah, you're taking a shot at Jay-Z.
I mean, you could be taking a light shot at Jay.
You're taking a shot at Jay-Z.
And hip-hop be like, nah, bro, you ain't Jay. Yeah. You're Drake, which is fine.
At first, the goal was Jay. Now the message was, stay in your lane. So which one was it? Well, Drake heard all that. And on the track, Back to Back, he flipped it.
You gon' make me step out of my frame. You gon' make me buy bottles for Charlamagne.
Drake's not the type to just say it. They don't call him Champagne Poppy for nothing.
Guy Drake's really living his raps, man. He said somebody was gonna make him buy bottles for Charlamagne. He bought 6 bottles of Dom Perignon.
And just like that, they were in the same room popping bottles together. And for a minute, it looked settled. But when the internet started running with rumors about Charlamagne bleaching his skin, Drake saw an opening. And on the track Sandra's Rose, he took it.
Backstabbed so many times, I started walking backwards. Like Charlamagne, I see the light and see the darkest patches.
That's when it became personal.
It has nothing to do with bleaching. Like, you know, it's okay to take care of yourself. You can go get you a chemical pill, fellas.
And from there, the commentary just kept coming.
Even though he's great, I would never really have anything too good to say about him.
And every time Drake dropped new music, there was already a take waiting.
I don't feel like that Tootsie slide was what I was looking for at Drake at this point in his career. Yeah, I want him to take chances with his music, but not by doing TikTok records.
Drake put out a song last Friday, and nobody cared. What was the song? The Drake and SZA record.
This time, instead of ignoring it, Drake went to Instagram, called him by his government, and said Charlamagne has been obsessed with him for years. And just to make sure it landed, he called him an off-brand Morris chestnut. And I mean, if you look at it, he wasn't wrong.
I agree with that. But Drake and I plan this out every time he drops an album. I'm part of the album rollout. He drops a record, I critique it. It brings more attention to the record, more attention to the project. I keep telling Drake he doesn't need me to do that.
He was right. Drake didn't need him because that track he has with SZA went #1 and now has over 300 million streams. One was talking about the records and the other was breaking them. And not surprisingly, 15 years later, he's still talking about Drake.
Started having a conversation. He told me, he was just like, man, you don't even know. Like, you know, back in the day, it was a go for you. And I'm like, what? And then that's when they told me they used to, you know, do security for Drake. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Beef rating, 4 out of 10. The opinions stayed loud, but the numbers stayed louder. You think this should be higher or lower? Let us know. Kid Cudi.
Drake took offense to it and responded on record in the middle of my stint in rehab.
Back in the day, Kid Cudi was on top of the world. The self-proclaimed man on the moon became one of the most unique voices of his era, with iconic records like Pursuit of Happiness, where Drake featured in the music video, and Day and Night, which was a banger. Around that time, Drake and Cudi were both rising names in hip-hop. From the outside, it looked like they were both chill. But as the years passed, Drake went on to become one of the biggest names in the game, often calling himself a top 5 artist.
Top 5, no debating. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Well, Cudi didn't see it that way. So he took to Twitter, putting Drake on blast, saying he has people writing songs for him.
I went online and I said, like, you can't be top 5 if you have writers. And that applies to Drake. That set it off, really. So I initiated it.
The tension even spilled into real life. At a Kanye West party, Cudi called Drake corny in front of everyone.
Cudi right here, like, get this out of here, so fucking corny. I'm like.
But behind the scenes, something else was brewing. Not long after that moment, Cudi checked himself into rehab over mental health problems. And whilst he was there, Drake fired back with the track, 2 Birds, 1 Stone.
You were the man on the moon, now you just go through your phases, life of the angry and famous.
And the shots from Drake kept coming.
Look what happens soon as you talk to me crazy. Is you crazy?
There's a lot of backlash he received at that time.
How did you feel about it?
Oh, okay. You want to kick me when I'm down?
Suddenly, people were asking if Drake crossed a line. There was a huge outrage and people jumped in to defend Cudi and began calling Drake's diss on his mental health a low blow. And that's when the beef between them really started heating up.
Well, the fire's hot and the beef between Drake and Kid Cudi is still cooking.
So Cudi started tweeting from the rehab center, threatening Drake, letting him know that he wanted all the smoke.
I'm gonna come to your doorstep and I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna see you, and that's a promise.
Which led to people questioning why they were even beefing.
It's over the music business. It's over attention. It's over clout. It's over prestige. It's over those things.
But as time went on, things began to settle. Cudi recovered from rehab, and the beef between him and Drake cooled down.
I was kind of rehabilitated from rehab, and I was in a much better place. And he kept saying it didn't feel right to be beefing with me, and I told him it didn't really feel right to be beefing with him. And it felt like old times, like reconnecting with an old friend.
And the two even reunited in the studio, with Cudi appearing on Drake's Certified Lover Boy album on the track IMY 2.
Cause I know we got some time, but I'm never sure.
But after that, Cudi says he never heard from Drake again.
You know, I went on to do a record for him and for his album, and you know, but granted, I haven't heard from him ever since. It just let me know, like, oh, that time is over. We'll never be homies like we were before.
Even if they're not as close as they once were, no one will forget they came up in the game together.
I know he loves me. I know that. That's good enough for me, you know, so.
Beef rating 6 out of 10. Cudi called him out, Drake fired back, and the whole thing came and went pretty quick. But one question remains. Should Cudi have responded on a record? Chris Brown.
I just looked at it as all right, cool. Well, I'm glad we got past it because it was a time I wanted to kill your ass.
Chris Brown wasn't just a singer. He was a superstar, a dancer, a hitmaker, a headliner. And when it came to loyalty, he took that seriously. Chris and Tyga were close. Not just industry friends, but real-life brothers. So when Drake and Tyga had beef, Chris backed his boy.
I support Tyga 100%. I'm still cool with both sides. But at the end of the day, Tyga my brother, so.
Once Chris picked a side, the Drake talk got louder.
If it go down, it go down. But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We making him hot by talking about this. If he come up here on y'all radio station, great. Then that's gonna get y'all some ratings.
And then he started taking shots.
I can't keep making these motherfuckers famous. Like if he gonna he might give you a different kind of answer. Like you know, I just look at it a different way. Like
you guys are something else right now.
A total different way.
At that point, it was a tag team. 2 bros trying to take down Drake together.
What is the situation or the relationship with you and Drake?
I mean, it's not entertaining for me. It's just more me being real, saying what I gotta say.
Right.
Like it's not, I ain't out here trying to go at him. I ain't got after him or I ain't got people after him.
On the surface, it looked like loyalty, but underneath, it was personal.
I just think personally, it's just people you just ain't gonna get along with. I don't have to keep, hashing on the subject about him. Right. But it's just we never gonna see out of that. So it's just you go your way, I'm gonna go mine.
Rihanna.
Well, this wasn't really about Tyga, it was about Rihanna. Chris Brown and Rihanna were once in love. That relationship fell apart in one of the most infamous moments in pop culture.
Your attorney has advised the court that you wish to enter a plea of guilty to that charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Rihanna went from Chris Breezy to dating Champagne Poppy.
Then she starts dating Drake.
At that time, I was just all about running up on dudes, and when I see you, it's this, and all right, but...
Well, you felt she did it on purpose?
She gonna be mad if I say it, but in a way I do.
And that's when it spilled into real life. That tension followed them to a New York nightclub. Bottles got thrown, the club got trashed, and Chris Brown left with a busted chin.
You went from that to fighting in a club.
Me?
After that night, Chris hit the booth, linked up with The Game, and dissed Drake on the track I Don't Like.
They throwing bottles, I'm throwing mops, just cause I give a long pipe.
But time has a way of cooling things down. And eventually, they both looked back at it differently.
You start to feel silly because it's like over like girl stuff, But obviously that can snowball into like real shit, and that's what happened in this
Real shit
situation.
that ruined the New York club life.
It did.
You shut down New York club life, man, forever.
I have no recollection.
Let's break this whole beef thing. Let's just do something funny. Let's make light of the situation.
So they did. At the ESPY Awards hosted by Drake, they linked up for a skit together.
Oh, I'm not the surgeon. He is.
Instead of avoiding the past, they leaned into it. By that point, it wasn't that serious anymore, and the beef started cooling down. And then came the moment that made it official. At one of his shows in LA, Drake brought Chris Brown out on stage, and just like that, it was over.
I think like that show when he came out, it was like one of those like best buds moments, you know? It was like, man, we're best buds. We missed all these years.
Once the tension was gone, they did what artists do. They made music together. In 2019, they dropped the track No Guidance, and it was a smash.
When the song was finished, I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like not only did we link back up and like have like a cool show moment, but like we did a record together. Right. And it's serious, it's not a joke.
In the video, they even poked fun at their own beef, and fans loved that they turned it into a moment.
Initially, that video didn't have that scene at the end. I promise you it'll be watched 100 times more if we just both admit that this is happening.
Ooh, wow. Chris Brown, dancer extraordinaire. Wow, whoa, whoa.
The smoke had cleared, and when they finally talked about it years later, Chris said what needed to be said.
When we actually sat and talked about it afterwards, it was just like, man, what the f was we doing?
Word.
Like, bro, that was funny as hell.
Beef rating 6.5 out of 10. It went from radio talk to real-life chaos. But instead of letting it spiral, they turned it into a hit. You think this rating is fair? Bobbi Althoff.
I was like, dude, you had such a moment. Like, you could have had something that would have like changed your life, and you ruined it.
Before Drake, Bobbi Althoff was a TikTok creator known for her dry, awkward style. She turned that into a podcast, and it started catching traction.
Do I look like someone who's a good partner? Are you hitting on me?
You're not my type.
That interview went viral, and it caught Drake's attention. So not long after, he agreed to sit down for the podcast. That's when everything changed.
Are you inviting me to one of your shows?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
Drake leaned into the awkwardness, and that's when it went crazy. Within days, the episode was everywhere. Millions of views. For a podcast that was only a few episodes in, this was rocket fuel. Overnight, she wasn't just a TikTok personality anymore. For a moment, she was sitting on the podcast throne.
The fact that you were so calm next to Champagne Papi, AKA Drake, is sending me.
But when you pop like that, everybody's looking for something. And it didn't take long before they found it.
You missed your daughter's first birthday for
To be here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
That clip caught some heat, so she stepped in to clear it up.
I left my daughter on her first birthday. Like, that makes me a bad mom because I interviewed Drake on my daughter's first birthday.
I would interview Drake on my daughter's first birthday and throw a party separately. Go ahead and judge that.
Then the energy between them shifted, not online, in real life. So when she showed up at Drake's concert looking bored as hell, the theories started flying, straight after they unfollowed each other. And that's when people knew something was off.
It's very hard for me to imagine what could have possibly happened between them during the show that would make them unfollow each other, and then also she would delete the interview. That interview is the biggest thing that she's ever done in her life.
That wasn't a coincidence. Drake had the episode removed. Drake giveth and Drake taketh away. And what elevated her publicly? Complicated things privately. Days after the interview was filmed, her husband filed for divorce, and Drake's name was suddenly in the middle of it.
So I asked her. I DM'd Bobbi.
What? You asked her, did you sleep with Drake and are you getting a divorce?
Yeah. She's like, I'm not commenting on that publicly, but that's not.
And then it started circulating.
If she wasn't clout chasing, she would have said that is not true publicly, but she want people to keep on talking about it. That's why she's not denouncing it. You understand?
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, she came out and denied the rumors and said she didn't even want to do the podcast in the first place.
She's like, off the record? No, not true.
If she says off the record, it's off the record.
No, I disagree.
So the rumor died down, but the divorce was still real. After all the drama, things eventually cooled off, and signs of peace between Drake and Bobbi started showing. But even then, nobody really knew what happened between them.
So Drake came on, and what was the beef? What was the thing? What was the thing that went viral with you and Drake where they're like, the unfollow? What happened with that? Why did he unfollow you?
I guess we'll never know.
Until they sat down again and told it themselves on a brand new podcast episode.
You made me feel like our interview was the reason that your life was bad.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
And then I just said, well, I'm going to get rid of the interview then, and you don't ever have to see it ever again a day.
And I said,
life.
And I said, great. And I just deleted it immediately. And people were like, why didn't you archive it? I was like, I don't ever want to see that again. It's gone. But yeah, no, I see now from your perspective why you felt like that, but I didn't. That's not how I meant it.
Beef rating, 3 out of 10. This wasn't a war, it was a reminder. Because Drake doesn't just beef with podcasters, he makes them. Metro Boomin.
I feel like, it's good for the game. And as far as me being diplomatic, I mean, it's just entertainment at the end of the day.
Growing up, Metro became one of the architects of the Atlanta sound. Dark melodies and cinematic trap. He got his first real break working with Gucci Mane. Then he met Atlanta rapper Future, who brought him in to work on his album, DS2. After that, he was introduced to Drake, and that's when things started popping. So when Future and Drake dropped their collab album, What a Time to Be Alive, who produced it? Metro, and it was iconic.
Jumpin', Metro Boomin on production, wow.
At that time, Drake and Metro were cool, and Metro showed love back, even calling Drake one of the greatest. After that, Metro's stock was rising. He linked up with 21 Savage to produce Savage Mode 2. But when Drake heard one of the records on there called Knife Talk, he had an idea. He thought it would work better on his upcoming album, Certified Lover Boy. So he added a verse right before release, and 21 signed off on it.
I sent him that song like 2 days before the album came out. I'm glad it went the way it went. Because I feel like it would have just been another song on Savage Mode 2.
Even Project Pat, who featured on it, knew it was Metro's record. But Drake's name brought another level of attention.
It was Metro had the song. And, hey man, like I said, there again, a Drake blessing, you know what I'm saying?
Metro didn't say much at the time, but he didn't forget it either. Not long after that, Drake and Future started teasing the sequel to What a Time to Be Alive.
You gotta cook that up. That too.
It's already cooked. Top secret.
But it never dropped. Instead, Drake linked up with 21 Savage and delivered the joint album Her Loss, and Metro and Future didn't get the sequel they were hoping for. So Metro did his own thing and created the album Heroes and Villains. And on one of the records, Trance, with Travis Scott and Young Thug. That's where things shifted. Drake heard it and wanted in. He recorded a verse, and it leaked, and a lot of people felt it elevated the record.
Hey, we put on the feathers for this type of weather. She go to the club to bust up a dub. I thought it was love, it wasn't what it was.
But then, Metro cut Drake's verse.
What happened with the Trance record? Because Drake, obviously his verse leaked.
He did some stuff, a couple parts was cool, but like I just felt like just even with like Slime verse and Trav verse and the outro, it was just already like it just really wasn't no room. It was just wasn't no room. It wasn't nothing personal. It just wasn't no room. So
Metro didn't like how that played out, so he made his own move. He leaked the original version of Knife Talk, the one before Drake got involved, and that's when the internet knew. The beef was on.
Stop pillow talking about how much you hate Drake, okay? Just stop it, okay? Stop it. It's kind of unbecoming, all right?
So when fans started comparing stream numbers between Her Loss and Heroes and Villains, Metro jumped in saying he didn't care about awards, but he was clearly watching the numbers. Well, Drake answered on IG, dropped some Jay-Z bars, then hit unfollow. What happened next changed everything. Metro and Future came back with a joint album called We Don't Trust You. Real mysterious title, that one. And on the track, Like That, featuring Kendrick Lamar, the shots at Drake were loud. Metro chose his side and the battle was on. And that's when it happened, the moment that defined this whole beef. Drake dropped the Kendrick diss, Push-Ups, and Metro caught a stray that nobody will ever forget.
Get more love in a city that you run. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums.
That bar didn't just sting, it stuck, and Drake made sure of it. The back and forth continued for a little while. By now, the beef was in full swing, so Metro dropped a viral diss beat called BBL Drizzy, and at that point, this was open war.
BBL Drizzy, oh! BBL Drizzy!
But Drake flipped it, teamed up with Sexy Red and rapped over the beat himself on the track, You My Everything.
BBL Drizzy, they want a new body, they asked me for it. The last one, John, he did it for free, cause I sent over so many past ones for him, but red.
You getting Drake to rap on the BBL Drizzy beat on You My Everything. How did you get him to rap on that beat? Did you know he was gonna rap on that beat?
I didn't even know he was gonna do that. He did that himself.
What was your reaction when you heard it for the first time?
It was hard.
But instead of dropping a record, Metro went into full troll mode, posting old clips mocking Drake. He even deleted the Drake is one of the greatest tweet.
To the rest of you, the non-believers, the underachievers, the tweet and deleters, you guys make me sick to my stomachs, fam. Honestly, if you guys want to look in my eyes, you guys want to do something? You guys, that's what I thought.
Metro later admitted the beef really hurt him, and behind the scenes, the beef had slowly cooled off.
Drake told me
and Metro that he understood where he was wrong and he apologized multiple times. But I feel like in the future, the near future, we'll see them work together again.
Beef rating, 7 out of 10. Metro had the internet for a minute, but at the end of it all, producers make beats and Drake makes moments. LeBron James.
Different places right now, currently. He's doing his thing, I'm doing mine, but it's always love for sure.
Today, Drake and LeBron might be in different places, but it wasn't always like that. For years, the two were incredibly close, and according to Drake, it all started with one moment.
I think one of the most pivotal moments for me in my career was when you showed up to the So Far Gone party in Toronto. That prominent marriage between like sports and entertainment, it was really big for us.
From there, the friendship quickly grew. Drake even appeared on the soundtrack for LeBron's documentary More Than a Game, on the classic track Forever.
Last name Elbow, first name greatest, like a spray angle, boy, I ain't nothing, I'm famous.
And as LeBron's career continued to rise, Drake was often right there with him, showing up courtside whenever he could. Over the years, the two built a bond through basketball. And as LeBron kept making history, Drake was always quick to show his support.
Every time you do something like this, I always try and get in the studio and like make the song that would go with the moment. So I'm excited to go to work tonight.
And their friendship only continued to grow. When LeBron signed with the LA Lakers, Drake welcomed him to the city in style.
Been knowing Drake since 2007. So, and we've grown closer and closer every year. And I'm proud of who he is today.
But it wasn't just basketball, it was music too. When Drake found himself in the middle of his feud with Pusha T,
Drake takes you and like, am I letting you down?
Yeah, what did I tell you?
What did you say to him?
You said that I can never let you down.
I said, listen, I want you to know one thing. We're family. You're a brother of mine. You could never, ever let me down, ever.
And off the mic, Drake continued showing that same loyalty, even donating $1 million to LeBron's I Promise School.
Myself and Eddie from Steak, we're gonna dedicate $1 million to the I Promise School, and I'm gonna come drop it off myself before it's weird. Wow.
And the moments kept coming. When LeBron broke the NBA's all-time scoring record,
LeBron stands alone!
Drake was once again quick to celebrate.
LeBron, what a legendary night in NBA history. You're breaking the all-time scoring record.
And Drake even brought that into his music.
I go from 6 to 23 like I'm LeBron.
But when LeBron's son Bronny suffered a cardiac arrest during a college practice, Drake was there to support the family. And when Bronny recovered, Drake brought him out on stage to show love. But then everything changed, because Drake suddenly found himself in a battle with Kendrick Lamar. And as it turned out, LeBron had a long history with Kendrick as well.
A good friend of mine, Kendrick, blessed me, with that album that just dropped.
And when Kendrick teamed up with Future and Metro Boomin on their album, We Don't Trust You, he delivered the verse on the track Like That kicked off the feud. And not long after, LeBron was even seen rapping the lyrics during warm-ups before a game. So when Kendrick dropped the Drake diss track, Meet the Grams, even LeBron got mentioned.
Hey, LeBron, keep the family away. Hey, Curry, keep the family away.
At first, it seemed like LeBron was still backing Drake. But when Kendrick dropped the #1 hit, Not Like Us, aimed at Drake, things looked very different. And when Kendrick held his pop-out show in LA, LeBron was right there in the crowd. Hey. By that point, Drake hit the unfollow and the loyalty was gone. Even LeBron's wife Savannah appeared to back Kendrick, posting stories with his music and even wearing his clothing line PG Lang in public. So Drake addressed the betrayal on the track Fighting Irish Freestyle.
Sure convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. Show me how different we are, there's blessings in juxtaposition.
But the biggest sign of the fallout showed up somewhere else. For years, Drake had a tattoo of LeBron's Irish jersey on his arm. But after the fallout, Drake covered the tattoo, replacing it with NBA star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Drake hadn't forgotten about LeBron dancing to Not Like Us, so he sent shots his way on the track What Did I Miss?
I saw bro end up pop out with them, but been around gangsters headlines.
Drake seemed to remind LeBron how far back they went, but LeBron didn't seem to care. Later seen on Holiday dancing to the diss track once again. And after everything that had happened between them, LeBron was finally asked about Drake.
Someone you have been friends with seemingly forever, Drake. Are y'all cool? What's the status there? Is this someone you always have love for?
Always. Always wish him the best, obviously. different places right now, currently. He's doing his thing, I'm doing mine, but it's always love for sure.
Beef rating 6.5 out of 10. Not a full back and forth battle. But when LeBron danced to Not Like Us, the whole world felt it. Pharrell.
When you feel like a line is crossed and you take off the gloves, that's just where your brain is at. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Drake is a Scorpio, and they never forget.
Pharrell isn't just a producer. He's one half of the Neptunes, the creative force behind Clips, a hitmaker for Jay-Z, and the founder of NERD. Long before Drake ever mentioned Pharrell's name, there was already tension sitting in the background. It started as business. Pharrell had issues with Cash Money Records, the label run by Birdman, after allegedly not being paid for a beat he produced. And after that, Pharrell never worked with Cash Money again. Years later, Drake becomes the crown jewel of that same label, and that association didn't help. Pharrell and Pusha T go way back, all the way to the Clips days. So when Drake and Pusha eventually start beefing, it isn't random smoke. Pharrell stood firmly behind his guy, but that doesn't mean he liked what came with it. As the diss records started flying, Pharrell would admit the whole situation never sat right with him.
Pusha didn't tell me because he knows I would have stood in front of him as much as I could. I hated to see all of it, every bit of it. It wasn't good.
But the story doesn't end there, because years later, something strange happens. In 2022, Pharrell Williams launched his online auction platform, Jupiter, putting some of the most iconic jewelry pieces from his career up for sale, like his billionaire Boys Club pendant, the legendary NERD chain, and even a solid gold PSP. The auction raised over $5 million for Pharrell's charity Black Ambition, and most of that money came from one anonymous buyer. Soon after, Drake appears in the Jumbotron Poppin' video, wearing the exact same pieces, flexing all of the chains like trophies. But Drake wasn't done. On the track Meltdown with Travis Scott, he took things a step further, claiming he melted the chains he bought from Pharrell.
I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss, give a fuck about all of that heritage.
That's the thing with rap, like, you know, there should be rules, but there's kind of no rules.
Then later, during Drake's battle with Kendrick Lamar, Pharrell's name pops up again. On the track Family Matters, Drake fires another shot.
You wanna take off for Pharrell, and come get his legacy out of my house.
At that point, it felt like Drake was just trolling Pharrell. Meanwhile, Pharrell Williams never really escalated things, but he did respond, just not the way people expected. On the track Double Life from the Despicable Me 4 soundtrack, Pharrell seemed to send a subliminal Drake's way.
Your life double-sided. Watch. It's like cards. What side do I get? Watch. Which side are you on?
Using an animated movie soundtrack to throw a subtle jab is low-key hilarious. But despite everything that happened, Pharrell never lost respect for Drake.
Drake got bars, bro.
Yeah,
Drake
he
got
does.
bars. By the way, Pusha says Drake got bars.
And in Pharrell's eyes, the situation between him and Drake was never really that deep.
Has that tarnished your relationship with Drake? Like, has it affected it in any way?
I mean, we've talked several times. I love Drake. I mean, even in the middle of all that stuff, like he would like said super nice and kind things to me on the DM and in public.
Beef rating 4 out of 10. Drake took a few shots and had some fun with the chains. But Pharrell never really stepped into the ring. You've probably smoked that blunt of sticky icky by now. I certainly have. So before you get too blazed, hit that subscribe button. Jay-Z.
It's so much negative stuff that comes with it. They almost wish it didn't happen.
By the late 2000s, Jay-Z wasn't just the biggest rapper alive. He was the benchmark, and Drake was watching. Jay-Z was his favorite rapper, his biggest influence. He saw him as the standard, and Jay didn't keep that respect quiet.
He's very talented, so he just has to maintain that focus because right now all the eyes are on him and not lose that. And if he say, I think he's gonna be fine.
And on Jay-Z's track, A Star Is Born, he even said it out loud.
Drake's up next. See what he do with it.
Jay-Z even showed up on Drake's debut album, Thank Me Later. On the track Light Up, he laid the blueprint.
Drake, here's how they gon' come at you. With silly rap fools trying to distract you.
On Light Up, I lost my footing a bit. Jay came and killed me on that. Jay killed me. That's what I think anyway.
That's when Drake ignored the advice and made his own move. Drake aimed his first real shot upward on the track, I'm on One.
I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take all I care.
Right after, Drake went to Twitter to downplay it. Said it wasn't a Jay-Z diss, but everyone knew it was. But then he threw subliminals in interviews.
We still gotta do that album.
Yes, you still got to do
Heard
that
some
album.
other guys are coming out with the album too. There's 2 other guys that are coming out
Okay.
together. 2 other rappers that are coming out with an album together. I don't know where they got that idea, but.
At the time, word was already circulating that Drake and Lil Wayne were planning a joint album. But then Jay-Z and Kanye dropped the exact same concept. An album called Watch the Throne. From that point on, the energy shifted, and Drizzy low-key felt like they'd stolen his idea. So next came the moment everyone remembers, the Grammy moment. That year, Drake was up for his first win, but when the envelope opened, Jay-Z won.
And the Grammy goes to Running Star, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Kanye West.
And to rub it in, Jay's track DOA beat Drake's Best I Ever Had for Best Rap Solo Performance. And Drake didn't agree with it. He said it himself. When I lost to DOA for Best I Ever Had, that one to me was like, really? Then everything looked fine again. Jay showed up on Drake's Pound Cake, which was such a sick track. Studio photos surfaced, no tension, no subliminals. And for a moment, it felt settled.
He's definitely one of my favorite rappers and like one of my favorite people, period.
But the kid was always plotting. He wanted to keep Jay on his toes. So he said it first in a Rolling Stone interview. Hove can't drop bars these days without at least 4 art references. So when Jay linked up with Jay Electronica on the track We Made It remix, he sent his first shot at Drake.
Damn, ho, stun on them haters. Sorry, Mrs. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me, rapping about that I really bought.
So Drake responded on the track, Draft Day.
I'm focused on making records and getting bigger. Just hits, no misses, that's for the married folks.
Jay didn't let that sit. He came right back on DJ Khaled's track, They Don't Love You No More.
Haters wanna ball, let me tighten up my drawstring. Wrong sports, boy, you know yourself at the lacrosse team.
And that's when Drake stopped tapping. He turned the heat up on the track, Summer 16.
I used to wanna be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay. Now I got a house in LA, now I got a bigger pool than Ye.
Then I turned into Jay-Z.
Yeah. Then something happened fans couldn't ignore. During the rollout for Drake's album Views, Drake dropped Pop Style. The track featured bars from Jay-Z and Kanye West.
They still out to get me, they don't get it.
Then when the album dropped, those bars were gone. Jay cut, Kanye cut. That's when fans knew. This wasn't just competition in the music anymore. Something had shifted behind the scenes. So after that, Jay would finally get his lick back for the Summer 16 track. On the track, I Got the Keys with DJ Khaled.
Real life, I'm like Hov. Real life, I'm like Ghost. In real life, they like me. In real life, I'm like, no.
Drake didn't seem phased, but still hit back on the track Sneakin'.
You ain't on it right away, you had to wait on niggas. Man, I'm only 29, had some patience with us.
The final shot in lyrics would come from Jay-Z on the track Shining.
12 solo albums all platinum. I know you ain't out here talking numbers right. I know you ain't out here talking summers right.
Not long after, they were photographed together. No caption, no explanation, just optics. Then Drake did something unexpected. On his album Scorpion, he brought Jay-Z back on the track Talk Up. The respect was there. But behind the scenes, the moves kept happening. Jay-Z, through Roc Nation, picked Kendrick Lamar for the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick performed his famous Drake diss track Not Like Us in front of over 130 million people. Jay didn't rap a word, but he sanctioned the stage.
I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Right. And when music duo Clips signed to Roc Nation, everyone knew that Pusha T was Drake's biggest rival. And that move from Jay wasn't accidental. But over time, the tension faded and the beef fizzled out. No explosion, no final chapter. And eventually, Drake addressed it himself.
Taking shots with the GOAT. You talk about the shots that you sent with Jay-Z. Like, why has that relation remained intact? Why has it never gone left?
I think Jay has a lot of respect for me, and he's aware of the massive amount of respect that I have for him at the end of the day. We both enjoyed our moments of, him, checking the young boy and me trying to be like, nah, I'm here, I think from that point on, we haven't really engaged again in anything, and I don't think I want to at this point.
Beef rating 6 out of 10. Drake didn't dethrone anyone, but the kid went on to become the biggest rapper of his generation. Now that's a flex. Sophie Brussaux.
Your family is single-handedly the most important thing to you, and everything that you do is always, about them.
Before the world knew her as Sophie Brussaux, she modeled under the name Rosie Devine. And when news broke that she was pregnant with Drake's child, the internet ran wild.
Drake's baby's mother, her name is Sophie. Well, apparently she's about to become famous.
Even labeling Sophie a porn star, she stayed mostly silent. But when she finally spoke about it, she shut the rumors down.
Il n'y a que les gens qui sont coupables qui se justifient. Ouais, je trouve.
Drake and Sophie's story didn't start as some long romance. The two were first seen together during Drake's 2017 tour in Europe. And according to Drake, they had only met a couple of times. So when Sophie later claimed she was pregnant, Drake wasn't convinced the child was his.
It actually wasn't until a week before the album came out that I got confirmation that was definitely my son. It took me 2 more solid tests with 2 different companies.
Becoming a father this way wasn't something Drake ever saw coming. and he eventually brought the situation into his music. On the track When to Say When, he said this.
Brought a few W's to the 6. Baby mama fluke, but I love her for who she is.
Well, that line quickly got people talking.
Fluke technically means an unexpected surprise.
First off, I think that's pretty rude, and secondly, those lyrics were just enough to set fans off in a fury on Twitter.
Eventually, Drake introduced the world to his son. Photos and videos of Adonis began appearing on his social media, giving fans a glimpse of Drake as a father. And as Drake remained one of the biggest artists in the world, Sophie quietly became a familiar name to the public. But Drake's life as a global superstar didn't always leave much room for the family life he once imagined.
You know, I'm in a co-parenting situation. Anybody that's in a co-parenting situation understands that you have to split time between 2 locations, so I can't always be there to make sure he's good. The last thing I want to do is have people running around going crazy trying to get my son.
So the two eventually found themselves raising Adonis from separate worlds. The reality of the situation was something Drake later reflected on in his music. And on the track March 14th, Drake revealed how he really felt.
I used to challenge my parents on every album. Now I'm embarrassed to tell them I ended up as a co-parent.
Later on the track, Drake admits the relationship between him and his son's mother hasn't exactly been smooth.
Hopefully by the time you hear this, me and your mother will have come around instead of always cutting each other down.
Drake has always made it clear how much he loves his son. But the path that led there was far from the family story he once said he wanted. And even today, while Drake and Sophie continue to show up for Adonis, the relationship between them still carries a quiet tension. Beef rating, 4.5 out of 10. Not a rap feud, just a messy situation that played out in the public eye. Joe Budden.
So I'm not signed to OVO, I can care less what they do at OVO.
Right.
Unlike the media keeps trying to portray, I'm not as obsessed with Drake as y'all think I am.
Back in the early 2000s, Joe Budden was everywhere. He broke through with the track Pump It Up, a club anthem, a radio staple, one of those records that had the city jumping. But while that record was ringing off in New York, there was a kid in Toronto paying attention, a young Drake who grew up on his music.
And look who it is.
Yes.
Drizzy.
Grateful to be here. No?
Drizzy, Mr. So Far Gone.
Yep.
Has come, you've taken over New York City.
Yeah, and you didn't just catch me out here too. I came to support Joe.
At that point, it was all respect, but admiration doesn't last forever. Drake dropped a record called Good Riddance, where he mentioned Joe.
If I copy Budden's flow, you mimicking his career. And the same money we hear and you giving to charity, you need to be giving a littles to give him some clarity.
It wasn't a full diss, but people noticed and the tone had changed. Then a few years later, in 2013, photos surfaced of Drake on vacation, swimming with dolphins with Tahiri, Joe's ex-girlfriend. And not just any ex, the one he proposed to on the show, Love and Hip Hop.
That's a no.
After that, nobody needed to say anything. The tension was real, and that's when the beef actually started. So when Drake dropped his album Views, Joe reviewed it, and he didn't hold back.
He sounds so uninspired on Views. There's a string of records now with horrible lyrics. I turned the 6 upside down. It's a 9 now.
So that's when it spilt into the music. Drake answered back on the track 4 p.m. in Calabasas.
All of a sudden, I got people showing how much they truly resent me. They hold a meaning to spells envy, they trying to tempt me.
Well, Joe caught that subliminal immediately.
Joe, jealous ones, envy, their whole demeanor spells envy. I don't think that's an accident.
But that wasn't the only line people noticed. There was another one.
It's always on some shit like, when can I get a favor? Where my bitch at? Like, I'm about to tell you where she been at.
I wonder who that was about, huh? Now it wasn't just about rap. It was personal. A few days later, Joe responded on the track, Making a Murderer Part 1.
You made me proud, lad, but it seems my child man with all the clap that he grabbed his steel down from his dad, look.
But Drizzy didn't even bother with a full reply. He went another route, and it was much colder. On French Montana's track, No Shopping, he reminded him where they stood.
Pump it up. She got a good head on her, but I pump it up.
Then they put that Pump It Up clip out. French, Instagram, pump it up. Pump it up. Whoa, homeboy, pump it up. We smoked hookah together.
A few days later, Joe came back again on the track, Afraid.
Yeah, Aubrey, that's the one we trusted. Not this new Aubrey with his stomach sculpted.
And that's when the internet started to get involved. Some Drake fans pulled up to Joe's house to clown him.
Joe Budden.
Yo, drug. This man's dead ass chasing us.
I'm gonna kill one of you little.
All right, I'm sorry. Sir, I'm sorry.
Yo, chill.
Sir, I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry.
And they started chanting some, I think it was Drake lyrics. So when you filter your craziness, you come up with, let me chase the kids with rocks.
By that night, the memes of Budden chasing the car wrote themselves. And the internet, it did what it does. Well, Drake thought it was funny. He even followed one of the kids who clowned Joe on Instagram. And Drake didn't just leave it there. During his Summer 16 tour, he took it to the stage.
I should have brought Joe Budden up here and let him do Pump It Up one time, man.
At that point, Joe and his track Pump It Up had become a punchline. Over the years, Joe had a lot to say about Drake on his podcast. And eventually Drake responded on the track Diplomatic Immunity.
I've seen budding careers turn to sit around and talk about other careers, judging their peers.
I've seen budding careers
turn into
sitting
around talking about other careers, judging their peers.
Where's the diss?
For a minute, things cooled off. They even went live together on Instagram.
You're the only one that, like, avoids me for some strange reason.
Never avoid you. I just don't see you. We're never in the same place.
Because I'm too broke?
I didn't want to say.
And then Drake just couldn't help himself. While on vacation, he posted himself playing Pump It Up.
Where else, Joey, would you have him going so crazy?
By this point, Drake was getting under his skin, and Joe tried to play it cool.
The biggest rapper in the world just starts clowning you out the blue. Takes your biggest musical achievement and just randomly steps on it because he's on vacation and the sun is shining. Yes, I think there is a way to not feel the greatest about that.
So when Drake dropped his album For All the Dogs, Joe just couldn't wait to give his opinion.
I haven't heard a dominant hook from Drake in a long time. Yo, dog, I had to look up how old this was when I finished listening to the album.
This time, Drake didn't respond with a record. He went straight to Instagram, calling Joe a failed musician. So when the Drake and Kendrick beef exploded, Joe broke down every diss, every angle, and every move.
None of you niggas is beating Kendrick being friendly. Let me just be the one to tell y'all.
And when Not Like Us dropped, his opinion was clear.
Fight is over!
Over time, Joe built a whole platform breaking down Drake's moves. Meanwhile, Drake kept making them, kept breaking records, kept selling out arenas. And that is why they call him the boy. Beef rating 8.5 out of 10. Joe had bars, and he had opinions, sure. But Drake had scale, he had momentum, and he never stopped moving. A$AP Rocky.
Hip-hop tactics and beefs is like WWF. It's like wrestling all the way, right? But this thing between us, it's not real smoke, but I just don't fuck with him.
Before the tension, before Rihanna, and before any of the shots, A$AP Rocky was the stylish one, moving through fashion shows and music videos like rap's new mood board. He had the look, he had the buzz, he had the city watching. But what he didn't have yet was a real position at the top. And that's where Drake enters the story. At that point, Drake and Rocky were cool. Rocky looked up to Drake, and Drake showed that love right back.
I'm trying to earn the right to call myself A$AP Drizzy. When I met A$AP, like I've said in the interviews, this guy right here just right off the bat did one of the kindest things anybody's ever done. Like came to check me, brought me a bottle of Chris. I'm honored this man accepted. I'm just happy to be here. I'm honored to be here, man. A$AP, for real.
Drake didn't just show love in interviews. He gave Rocky exposure. He featured on the track Problems, one of Rocky's biggest early records. The song went top 10, helped define Rocky's debut, and publicly linked the two during Rocky's rise.
Only person that put on for me when I ain't have nobody was Drake. I'm talking about Drake was the first person to put on like before anybody. He didn't want to sign me. Yeah. He didn't want to, it was like, yo, that's raw talent, yo. Like, you gotta shine.
At that point, there was no beef, just momentum. But there was one connection Drake never really let go of. Rihanna. They had one of those relationships hip-hop watched grow in real time. Throughout the years, they were always on and off, but always seemed to circle back to each other. They made records together like What's My Name, Take Care, and Work, which were all certified bangers. And in 2016, Drake stood on that VMA stage, handed her the Vanguard Award, and told the world exactly how he felt.
She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old.
But by 2018, Rihanna made it clear. That chapter between them was closed. By 2019, the situation had changed. Rihanna had moved on, with A$AP Rocky, and that's where the beef began. Drake made the first move and dissed both Rihanna and A$AP on his album For All the Dogs, with the track Fear of Heights.
Y'all can't run me, better him than me, better it's not me.
Rocky picked up on it fast. He knew that wasn't an accident.
I don't know, like I think when I got with my girl, he just started throwing shots out of nowhere. Like I just woke up and just felt like he was just throwing subs and shit.
Rocky wasn't gonna let that slide. He got his lick back on Future's We Still Don't Trust You album. on the track Show of Hands.
It's innate feelings over women. What you heard of, son? I smashed before you birth, son. Flacco hit it first, son.
The bars landed. But everybody knew one thing. Drake was there first. And when Drake went to war with Kendrick, he didn't forget anyone. On the track Family Matters, Drake aired out half the field, and Rocky caught his hardest shot yet.
Rakim talking shit again. Gas cause you hit my BM first. Do the math who I was hitting in. I ain't even know you rap still cause they only talking about your fit again.
Let's be honest. Drake was on smoke and tore straight through him. But A$AP Rocky still wanted the last word. So he came back one more time on the track Stole Your Flow.
You just a sensitive, still in this feeling. You fit the image, my nigga. I had to switch it.
After that, Drake stayed quiet. Rocky called it petty, and the tension never really left.
I do think that shit is petty, and we all, it's like I said, it's enough money, it's enough women, it's enough fame, spotlights to go around. You know what I mean? We not really tripping off nothing, but is it real smoke? It could never be. That ain't smoke.
Beef rating, 7.5 out of 10. Rocky won the relationship. Drake won the records, and in rap, that's the part that lasts. Diddy.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake.
Diddy wasn't just another rapper. He was a hip-hop icon. And when Drake was still coming up, Diddy showed him love and even let him feature on his track, Loving You No More. That was a cosign, and Drake looked at him with admiration.
One of the best nights of my life, man.
He's a great host, but he's a king, you know what I'm saying? Young king.
They were cool. There was respect. But the first crack showed up during a performance at Club Live in Miami when Drake snatched the mic straight out of Diddy's hand mid-song. It looked small, but pride is a powerful thing. And from there, the tension started building. So then Drake dropped the track 0 to 100, and it was an all-time banger.
Oh Lord, know yourself, know your worth. My actions being louder than my words.
And when a record hits like that, people start asking questions, especially the ones who feel like they had something to do with it. Because behind the scenes, Diddy felt that record was his.
I'm gonna play this next beat. I gave this to this stole this from me, but at the end of the day, still hard. Play that shit.
Which is what made what happened next feel different. Because this time at Club Live, there wasn't a performance.
Diddy allegedly slapped Drake so hard that Drake was wobbly-kneed, and somebody had to catch him.
He's like, boy, you wouldn't just believe what happened. I'm like, what? Diddy just slapped Drake.
For a lot of people, it was simple. Diddy couldn't accept that Drake turned a beat he once had into a hit.
This is why he's fighting Drake. When you hit Drake, because he used the beat that he didn't actually use.
0 to 100.
I don't know what Diddy would have did with that beat.
I know.
It's like a Drake beat.
And not long after, Rap-A-Lot Records' Jay Prince stepped in and gave Diddy a warning shot on the track, Courtesy Call.
Perfect. Feeling like he can put his hands on my family, open the doors for his family to be touched.
In Diddy's version of events, this wasn't about Drake. It was about a record that slipped through his hands.
It was my record, and then, somehow that became, just a misunderstanding because we was working with the same producers. Honestly, it was a misunderstanding. Honestly, Drake is actually my favorite rapper.
But when it came to the slap, he shut that down immediately.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake.
Drake stayed quiet publicly. But on the track 4 p.m. in Calabasas, he made it clear he hadn't forgotten.
The higher I get, the less they accept me. Even had the OGs try and press me. Ha 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 ha.
After that, the beef fizzled out, and eventually it seemed like they were cool again. Diddy was even on stage accepting Drake's award at the VMAs.
Hey, yo, Drake is stuck in traffic, so I'm gonna take this mo with me all the way back to the crib. Yo, Drake, come get this.
But then the headlines changed. When Diddy's scandal hit the news, Drake moved quickly and quietly unfollowed him. And just like that, what started as mentorship turned into silence. Because some friendships don't explode, they just expire. Beef rating, 5.5 out of 10. Diddy tried to press him, and Drake kept making hits. Years later, one career kept rising, and the other faced a different reality. Kendrick Lamar.
Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably...
Back in the day, Drake and Kendrick Lamar weren't rivals. They were bros.
I've always been a fan of his music. Just been chopping it up since, man. Shout out to Tristan.
Drake was already running the rap game, and Kendrick was the next one up. And instead of competing with him, Drake brought him in, took him on the Club Paradise tour, and gave him a platform.
On this Club Paradise tour, matter of fact, Drake putting us out there to see this crowd that we ain't seen before, me and ASAP.
This is my brother ASAP Rocky. This is my brother Kendrick Lamar.
From there, Kendrick really started rising, and his album Good Kid, Mad City took his career to another level, with Drake featuring on one of his biggest records, Poetic Justice. And Drake was proud to be a part of the moment together. And by the time the track Problems dropped, Kendrick was picking up some serious momentum.
I'm Kendrick Lamar, aka Benzes to me just a car.
By this point, Kendrick was everywhere, and the whole industry was watching his rise.
And you, Kendrick Lamar, are the hottest MC in the game, according to the MTV Brain Trust.
But even with all that, Drake was still the one on top.
You got a Grammy for Best Rap Album.
I did. But in Kendrick's eyes, he was coming for the throne.
You know, you're supposed to feel like you're the best, because if you don't, you're gonna get stepped on, because there's a jungle out there, you feel me?
And when Kendrick linked up with Big Sean, he backed it up on the track Control.
But this is hip-hop, and them should know what time it is. And that goes for Jamaica, Big Crit Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake.
Well, Kendrick thought name-dropping every rapper in the industry was just friendly competition.
Hip-hop is a sport, so you're gonna have these little spits and spats. And it's all good because, personally, I respect these dudes as, you know, as people.
And at first, Drake played it off like it was all love.
That verse had no malice behind it because I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love.
But deep down, he wasn't feeling it.
You can't just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened.
From that moment on, the rivalry started to grow. And it became about who was the biggest rapper in the game, Kendrick or Drake. And that's when the subs started, with Drake setting the tone on the language.
I am the kid with the motor mouth. I am the one you should worry about.
And Kendrick didn't take long to respond on the track Pray For It.
I tell him all the hell, King Kendrick, resurrecting my vengeance, been dissecting your motor mouth till I break down the engine.
And then he stepped it up with his BET cypher.
And nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes.
What followed was a barrage of subliminals, going back and forth, track after track. And it got so big, even the president picked a side.
If Drake and Kendrick Lamar got in a rap battle, who do you think would win?
Gotta go with Kendrick.
After that, the subs stopped when Drake and J. Cole linked up. And for the first time, they said his name out loud.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali.
Well, Kendrick wanted all the smoke and hit back on the track like that.
I still got PTSD, motherfucker the big three. It's just big me.
Like that shot straight to #1. And from that moment on, there was no turning back.
You won't never take no chain off of us. How the f you big stepping with a size 7 man's on?
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct.
Diss tracks were flying back and forth. And this didn't feel like a normal beef.
Hip-hop has never seen a beef quite like this. Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Who is winning?
Oh, Kendrick.
No, Drake. Wow.
All right.
Now the whole world was watching, and this was war.
Can't Tootsie slide about it, this one is just gonna resurface. Every dog gotta have his day, now live in your purpose.
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Where's your uncle at? Cause I wanna talk to the man of the house.
Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, superstar, right? And a dead beat that should never say more life. Meet the Grams.
And that's when it happened. Kendrick dropped the track Not Like Us. Not only did he take control of the beef, he landed a knockout punch.
Certified lover boy, certified fouls. Wop, 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 wop. That f*** 'em up.
And it didn't just land, it took over. The track went #1, dominated the charts, and turned into a moment.
They not like us. No, they not like us. No, they not like us.
But it wasn't just the record, it was how far Kendrick took it, throwing out serious allegations and taking it to a place most rappers wouldn't go. And whether it was true or not, the damage was already done, and Drake just had to hold it. And on the track, The Heart Part 6, it felt like Drake was stepping away from the beef.
I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing.
And while Drake stepped away, Not Like Us just kept going.
The Grammy goes to...
The Grammy goes to Kendrick Lamar. Not Like Us.
Kendrick swept up 5 Grammys for Not Like Us, which is crazy, considering it's a diss track. From the charts to the biggest stage in music, it had taken over everything, including the beef itself.
At the end of the day, nothing more powerful than rap music. I don't care what it is.
Beef rating 10 out of 10, from bros to enemies. This one had been bubbling for years, and when it finally cracked, it sparked one of the most iconic rap beefs of all time. And that's the full story of Drake versus everybody, for now anyway. From early tension to global domination, and finally, to the moment it all caught up with him. Which beef do you think hit him the hardest? And which one did he come out on top? Let us know in the comments. And if you're still here, you already know what to do. Hit subscribe and stay locked in with 92 Bricks. And if you want to go even deeper, hit that join button and become part of the 92 Bricks community. We love y'all for rocking with us. See you on the next one. Peace.
Knock, knock, knock.